Have you ever heard of the world-renowned anime known as Attack on Titan? Well, you're about to learn all about it in the history of Attack on Titan. So, what is Attack on Titan? Attack on Titan is a popular anime franchise that was made by Hajime Isayama. Who's that, you may ask? Hajime Isayama is the writer and illustrator for Attack on Titan. Isayama was born in Oyama, Oita Prefecture, Japan, now known as Hita. He was attending Hita Rinko Senior High School when he began submitting manga works to contests. In college, he matriculated in the manga design program for the arts department at Kyushu Designer Gakuen. In 2006, Isayama applied for the magazine Grand Prix known as MGP, and a short version of Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin, was given the Fine Work Award. At age 20, he moved to Tokyo and worked there at an internet cafe in order to pursue a career in writing manga. What made Hajime Isayama write Attack on Titan? Anime News Network reported on an interview Isayama gave to Nihon TV about his inspiration for Attack on Titan, in which he said, "One night, while working in an internet cafe, the idea for Titans themselves came to him when he encountered a drunk customer." Isayama says, if you've ever tried to communicate with a drunk person, you know that the results of this interaction are often frustrating and pointless. For Isayama, he was inspired by the lack of the ability to communicate even though the person was the same species, and thought at that moment the most familiar and scary animal in the world is actually the human. So what is Attack on Titan about? Attack on Titan features a story about giant humanoid creatures that threaten the civilization of the world. Attack on Titan is set in a world where humanity is forced to live in cities surrounded by three enormous walls: Xena, Rose, and Mario. These walls protect them from gigantic man-eating humanoids referred to as Titans. The story follows Eren Yeager, who vows to exterminate the Titans after they bring about the destruction of his hometown and the death of his mother. So what is the origin of Attack on Titan? How did it come to be? Hajime Isayama originally created a 65-page one-shot version of Attack on Titan in 2006. In his first attempt, he offered his work to the Weekly Shonen Jump, where the editor of the department asked him to modify a few details in the story and artwork, which he refused and instead decided to take it to Weekly Shonen Jump magazine department in Kodansha. Before serialization began in 2009, he had already thought of ideas and twists, although they were fleshed out as the series progresses. The series began in the first ever issue of Kodansha's monthly publication Bisatsu Shonen Magazine, released on September 9, 2009. The manga was finished after an 11-year publication run with its release of its 139th chapter on April 9, 2021. On November 8, 2020, it was announced that the manga would get a full-color serialization. Kodansha collected its chapters in 34 volumes released from March 17, 2010 to June 9, 2021. Now you may be wondering, are there any other writers or illustrators? Well, after Isayama graduated from college, he decided to write and illustrate his own manga that we know as Attack on Titan. While writing the manga, Isayama didn't want or get any help with illustrating AOT. If anything, he preferred to do it on his own. Isayama only had 2 to 3 assistants throughout the manga, but they almost never illustrated. On the anime side of things, there are multiple producers, illustrators, directors, and sound designers. One of the main directors being Tetsuo Araki. There were a great amount of producers for Attack on Titan, one being Tetsuya Kinoshita. Attack on Titan was originally being designed by Wit Studio, in which they did episodes 1 through 59, and now the show is picked up by Studio Mappa. They have done episodes 60 to the present. Attack on Titan is one of the biggest animes to come out in the past decade, and its final season is ramping up even more excitement around Hajime Isayama's story. It's clear that viewers are invested in what happens to Eren Yeager and the remaining members of the 104th Cadet Corps. In fact, Attack on Titan was the most in-demand TV show of 2021. The first half of Attack on Titan's final season aired from late 2020 through early 2021, and the anime revealed that Eren Yeager's story would conclude after Season 4, Part 2. The latest batch of episodes premiered in January 2022, and they are promising to end the story with a bang. The show has delivered non-stop action and suspense since it picked back up again. Perhaps that's why so many viewers are clamoring for more Attack on Titan. So now that we've talked about how the show came to be, let's talk about the actual show. The story follows Eren Yeager, who's a former member of the Scout Regiment and the main protagonist of Attack on Titan. He's the only son of Grisha and Karl Yeager, the younger paternal half-brother of Zeke Yeager, and the current holder of the Attack Titan, Founding Titan, and the Warhammer Titan. So who are the antagonists? Titans, also known as Kyojin, were a species of giant man-eating humanoids that served as the antagonists for the events of Attack on Titan. People inside the walls were taught that they first appeared 107 years ago prior to the year 850 and rapidly exterminated humanity to the point of near extinction. In reality, they were transformed humans known as subjects of Ymir and had existed for nearly 2,000 years. Titans themselves strongly resemble nude humans. They were typically bipedal, though a few were quadrupedal, with the limbs and features one would expect in humans. However, they were all deformed in some extent of body proportions, maybe having a large head, small limbs, etc. The vast majority of Titans had very wide mouths with an array of entirely sharp or entirely flat teeth. The vast majority of Titans had masculine body types, although all of them lacked reproductive organs. Towards the end of the series, the perspective takes a big turn, which I can't say because it would be a massive spoiler, but it makes many people question who the antagonist of the show really is. Throughout the series, Eren had accomplished a lot through the series as its hero, but he also faced many failures. It wasn't until he became the main antagonist in its final arcs of Attack on Titan that he truly succeeded in his goals. But ultimately, I think Zeke Yeager was the greatest antagonist in the entire series. He had manipulated everyone he encountered in order to achieve his goals of bringing an end to the Eldian race, only to be responsible for his own failure in the end. So, what do you think? Will you watch Attack on Titan and get fooled by its many twists and turns?